everyone, happy Hanukkah. The festivities in the air. Our prayers are suffused with a sense of praise to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and thanksgiving. We're all so excited. We're flipping our latkes with the Maccabees and singing with what's his name? Matisyahu. How could I forget? Singing with Matisyahu, and it's great. But there's a bit of a question that I've wondered, and particularly this year it hit me, and I think it's a message that's relevant to you, alumni, much more so than the Talmidim here. We're celebrating the rededication of the Beis HaMikdash during the time of Bayit Sheni. And it's great, but how come we don't celebrate the first time that the Mikdash was built? Shlomo HaMelech built the dream home of David. He'd been dreaming about it. It's been years in the making after traveling in the Midbar for so long. And there it was built and no celebration. And here we are, Bayit Sheni, in the middle, seems like a footnote. And out of this footnote we make such a great deal and we celebrate so much. Why? Why is that? And I think that the answer is that perhaps the difference lies between building and rebuilding. Just the other day I was playing with my two younger children, Naftali and Shimi. And Shimi was building a large tower out of his magnet tiles. And he was super excited. And Naftali came and he knocked it down and he began to cry. And I said to him, well, it's not a big deal, let's just build it again. But all desire was gone. He didn't want it. When staring at an empty page filled with possibility, you're excited and you want to do it. But when staring at a heap of rubble and needing to rebuild, there's no excitement there. It's not fun. Nobody wants to do it. It's just, he didn't want to do it. It's the same thing here. Initially, it wasn't hard for Shlomo HaMelech to build the Beis HaMikdash. It was exciting, it was new, it was novel, everything was going to be great. Why wouldn't he do it? And because it came so easy, there was no need to celebrate. But here at the time of the Greeks, when we're rebuilding, and it's hundreds of years later, and we're staring at a pile of rubble, and it seems so far away and so stale, nobody wanted to rebuild. And there, having surpassed our initial urge to just give up, and to keep on going and trucking forward, that is what we're celebrating. That is a cause for celebration and thanksgiving. What a relevant message to us as well. I'd like to read for you from the Screwtape Letters. The Screwtape Letters was written by C.S. Lewis. It's really written for Christians, but it's a great book for all of us. It really talks about how the Yetzer Hara works. It's a compilation of letters that Screwtape, who is a general in the Devil's Army, writes to his nephew Wormwood. And he's trying to encourage him as to how he should go about tempting his client towards succumbing to his bad urges. And at some point, the client that Wormwood was working on became a Christian. We're going to place the word Christian with Jew. And Screwtape writes to his nephew, it's okay. It's not great, but it's okay, because there's still hope for us. Screwtape writes like this. Work hard then on the disappointed or anticlimax, which is certainly coming to the patient during his first few weeks as a shul goer, as an Eved Hashem. The enemy, that is HaKadosh Baruch Hu, allows this disappointment to occur on the threshold of every human endeavor. It occurs when the boy who has been enchanted in the nursery by stories of the Odyssey buckles down to really learning Greek. It occurs, ironic that we're reading this on Hanukkah. It occurs when lovers have got married and begin the real task of learning to live together. In every department of life, it marks the transition from dreaming aspirations to laborious doing. Hashem takes the stress because he has a curious fantasy of making all little human vermin into what he calls his free lovers and servants. Sons. Banim atem la'Hashem Elokeichem. Sons is the word he uses, with his inveterate love of degrading the whole spiritual world by unnatural liaisons with two-legged goats. He says like this. He leaves them to do it on their own, and there lies our opportunity, says the Yetzer Hara. But also remember, there lies our danger. If once they get through this initial dryness successfully, if we as Evdei Hashem get through it, we become much less dependent on emotion and therefore much harder to tempt. That is what Hanukkah is all about. getting over that initial dry spell and serving HaKadosh Baruch Hu through thick and thin. I want to close with just one story. If you go through Har HaZeitim and you look at all the different kvarim that are there, kvarim in general are very interesting. You could tell a lot about a person from his kever. Sometimes you go to a cemetery and you see, no joke, I've seen this myself, a monument shaped like a bowling ball. And you know that the guy that's buried there was obviously a big bowler. Sometimes you go and you see something shaped like a book. Monuments can reveal a lot about a person. And there's one monument in Har HaZeitim I saw in Rabbi Pesach Kron's book, Echoes of the Maggid, that says on it, Zvachim 95. That all it says on it, Zvachim 95. Curious mitzvah. The story behind it is such. There was a person in Philadelphia, his name was Rav Ephraim Yolis. And Rav Ephraim, at the ripe old age of 98, passed away. I believe it was 98. When he came to America in the early 20s, he got a letter from his uncle telling him about the great, great meeting they've just had in Europe with all the great rabbis. The Chafetz Chaim was there represented. He said, but the person who stole the show was a person, a young maverick Rav by the name of Meir Shapiro, who introduced the world an idea, Daf Yomi. And he was so excited about this idea, and he was urging everyone to do it. We're going to start on Rosh Hashanah, and every Jew all around the world is going to learn the Daf a day. And it's going to be great. We're going to combine Mishnah and Gemara, and it's going to be fabulous. And Rav Ephraim Yolis got very excited, and he said, I'm going to do it too. But he tried, and it didn't work so well. And then later on, in the United States, Rav Meir Shapiro came himself to raise funds, and he met Rav Ephraim Yolis, and he asked him, are you learning Daf Yomi? And he said, I can't. I tried. It was too hard. He urged him, please, please try again. And he tried again. And a few Masechtas into the cycle, he started and he caught up on what he missed. And for the next 70 years of his life, he learned the Daf Yomi. 70 years, 8 or 9 cycles. And on his Matzeva, Zvachim 95, that was the last Daf that he learned on the day that he died. Not a single day went by without his learning Daf Yomi. What a tremendous story. What chizuk. Can you imagine the dryness that he felt at some points in his life? Can I really go on? Where's the excitement? Where's the passion? And he pushes himself and pushes himself. And that's what Hanukkah is. May all of us learn how to push ourselves. The people in Yeshiva this year, they're excited. They don't need Hanukkah, but us who have been out of Yeshiva for a while, alumni, you and myself, we need Hanukkah. We need to learn that we can rededicate ourselves, even when it seems like it's dry, even when it seems like it's futile. Let's rebuild our Yiddishkeit, starting now.